Hey friends, welcome to today's tutorial video. So friends, you must have seen one of those really cool QR code images like the ones that you can see on your screen right now. I really like this one. This one looks really amazing, and there are some really more amazing ones. I don't know. This one looks pretty cool. So all of these are really cool AI generated, QR codes that are actually also readable using your phone. So how is this done? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to actually show you the simple process by which you can create your own QR code or any other different style of shaded sort of block shaded image using a very special control net model called QR code monster. So before we head into our stable diffusion, I need to show you where can you get this QR code monster model and where to place it. So you can find QR code monster in CVTI. So let's go to CVTI, and over here let's type QR code monster, and this is the QR code monster. This is the one that I used. This is the one that I downloaded. So you need to download this, and there's a config file. You can see a link for the config file. So you need to download both of these files and place it inside your ControlNet models folder. The folder is here. So this is inside your automatic 1111. So you go to automatic 1111 stable diffusion UI, and from here you'll find the extensions folder. Inside the extensions folder you will find SD web UI ControlNet, and inside this you will find this models folder. This is where both the control model and the config file needs to go, and after that you need to start your automatic 1111 installation. So when you do that, you will find that this thing is actually available as a model. It doesn't have any preprocessor, so it doesn't need any preprocessor. You just need to use this model or select this model from here, and this model will not come up in this list because it's not part of the official list or something like that. But it doesn't matter; it doesn't have to be here. If you want to use it, just select Control Net Type All, and then from here select this one. So now that we know how to download and place our model, let's start generating some interesting QR codes. So the way to generate these interesting QR codes is, first of all, you need to place a QR code inside this control net. So let's do that. So I have a QR code ready, and this is the QR code. So this is the QR code. Then you need to, of course, enable it. For me, I also enable low VRAM, and you need to select the QR code monster model. So that's it for ControlNet. The next step is, of course, to go and give a prompt. So let's try a simple prompt. It's a very simple prompt: a village in the style of Studio Ghibli. So let's generate this, and voila, we have an image which definitely follows the QR code. I think I can clearly see that there is a similarity. So yeah, there is a good bit of similarity, and of course, this is in the style of Studio Ghibli. So this is very exciting. Yes. So it uses this dark black and white lines as a kind of a guiding pathway to create this image. It can not only read QR codes, but it can actually read any type of patterns, which is black and white or shades of black and white. So we can try something different. So you can add this interesting triangle kind of pattern, and let's say, so we get this really interesting pattern, and that is because it's inherited the pattern from this control net, and this had a control weight of 1.5, which is perhaps a little bit too much. So let's reduce it down to 0.8, and let's try something different. So I'm trying a classical stone city with blue sky and clouds. And so we have this really very interesting image of a somewhat realistic looking city of Rome or classic city of Rome, and the cloud actually follows, as you can see here, the pattern that I had inputted earlier. So this is very interesting, right? Let's try another really crazy pattern, and let's see what kind of images we get. Let's try a spiral pattern. This looks interesting. Let's try this prompt. A beautiful dancing girl with flowing skirt, shot taken from above. So hopefully it will be able to utilize this pattern, this sort of spiral pattern, and create and give us a groovy kind of image. Okay, that's pretty groovy. Although unfortunately the girl's face is a bit too groovy for us, but this is very interesting. So now there is another thing that you can try to do if you want to combine this kind of pattern with the images that you have or we want to create. and not wanted to overwhelm the images, you can actually delay the starting control step. So in your control net, you will find that there is this option which is called starting control step. If you make it, let's say, 0.25, it means that whatever steps you have, out of that, the first 25% steps will not include this control net, and it will use the control net after spending one fourth of the steps creating your prompt first, and then add to the control net, and then add the control net to that image. Okay, so for example, I have 20 steps, and out of 20 steps, the first 5 steps will actually not use the control net, and then from the 6th to the 20th step, it's actually going to use the control net. The first 5 steps it will not use, and the next 15 steps it will use. Or for example, if you make it zero point 0.5, then it will not use the control net for first 10 steps. It will start it from the 11th step. So let's do a prompt and let's see how it affects. So let's just have starting from 0 first, and let's say, so we have this from Defender of the Universe, amazing anime action art, cinematic style 4K, and now let's generate with everything normal as it should be, and let's see what we get. So we don't really have much because it is strictly following the control net image from the very beginning. Now let's make it 0.25 with the same prompt, and let's see what we get. So we can see that the QR code control net has kicked in, but perhaps a little later after generating a little bit of the image. And now let's do it from zero point 0.5. So you can see that the impact of the control net on the image is now much less. So the more you increase it, the control is going to be much less because it's going to kick in from much later. But if you want to do the reverse, for example, if you want the control net to start early but also not affect all of the generation steps, then you can do the opposite. You can make it, you can start from 0, which means that the control net will be used from the first step of image generation, but it will only be used till the 10th step. So let's make it 0.5. Okay, so after, so let's make it 0.5. So basically after half of the steps, which means that since the sampling steps is 20, it will stop being used after 10 steps. So we get very similar type of image. That's because in the creation process, in the image creation process, which is the first few sampling steps, the QR code control net is already being used. So anyway, so this is one way of controlling the image. If you have a very extreme kind of a image that you want to use and you don't want it to overwhelm all of your image using the pattern that is available to you, so you can actually play with the control weight, and also you can play with the starting and the ending control steps to give you more control of the kind of image that you want to create. So friends, next week we'll try to come up with another really interesting cool tutorial. So till then, goodbye.